Now we're looking at an underhand or oriental circular knife stabs. So again, we're looking in for control. So what happens is here, she's going into stab, and then basically here I'm coming in to control. I bring it back into shot. From here, I wrap, and then I'm back to knee strongly here. I can hit. Now she's down. So what's happening is here, I do this slowly for you. I'm still going to do very similar with my Oriental stab defense. It's going to be a 360, hinging at the hips, leaning. If I can, I'll even burst into this again to get there earlier, get there stronger, start to smother her arm here. Two ways of dealing with this one actually. You can still keep your bursting simultaneous punch, not bad. As soon as you do the one punch, I'm gonna just do the one and then come over to help to smother this arm. The second thing you could do is you forego the punch here, and then you start to just jump on this arm with twin 360 defenses. They both have pros and cons. This one here I am getting a simultaneous strike in earlier, but this one here I am doubling up my defense, which gives me more protection and cover, especially if you're surprised, because usually when you're surprised, here people want to do this to defend. So here I'm bringing in doubling up my defense, which makes me a little bit more safer. Whichever one, it's in the moment how you react or what you choose. Now from here, basically, if I've done the double defense one, it's still a normal 360 as before. But now this other 360 is going to cut across, and I'm going to come up to her bicep. Again, that's pinky out, because I want both of my forearms, and I'm not just covering, I'm actually jamming this arm, and that is basically 2 strikes. You'll feel with this far side that I really need to press the shoulder forward, lat forward, so I can get this across and jam it up here. Then what happens is here, is once I've done that, again I'm going to do my replacement steps to smother. The problem with the Oriental stab is that they're quite fast, but also can be narrow recoils to the body. It's quite like a knife. The stabs, when they recoil, can come close to the body, and that's just got to do with the anatomy. You can see how the hand drops forward from the elbow drops below the shoulder. That when the recoil, it can come back close to the body and actually even behind the body. You'll see with an ice pick stab, when they stab, the recoil tends to be away from the body. It doesn't come back close to the body. So ice pick stabs tend to have more gaps, just the way the shoulder girdle on the anatomy allows you to raise the arm up. There's a bit more space and gap here, and in fact it can't go behind the body very far. So it's limited in range and recoil, and limited in range how close the body can be. The problem with Oriental or underhand is they can come back wide and far, and also close to the body like so. So there's a lot more play and maneuverability in the recoil, which is why sometimes you really, even if you come in with the initial punch, I need to come in with the second one so I can help to smother this arm. What happens is, get your replacement step going, keep your shields covering, and at some point you can see right now, Sally's arm is like sideways to her body here. This is starting to be a good time for me to then wrap. You can see I'm in on her arm, and it's all the way back, because even when I start to wrap my thumbs now, if she was to come forward, she's coming forward into me now. I never want to make a defense here. And then reach here, because see, I haven't got enough pressure. My foot is too shallow. This is why you need to chase this here, smother it. Now how I do my controlling wrap is the same as before. I will turn my thumbs. So this one here, I'm going to turn the thumb up. This one here, I'm going to turn the thumb down. So just opposite thumb directions like that. And what happens is here, as I'm doing the thumb rotation, I'm still moving my body forward. I'm still coming forward to smother the arm. When I'm coming up, this bottom hand's going to come up, and I want my pinky up to the elbow, like so. As much as I can, I'd like to have a straight elbow here, and so I'll pick my hands, comes over, folds over, and I'm holding this tight. And this is a straightish arm now. If I only want pinky roughly up to the elbow, if I have all of my fingers past the elbow, she can now bend the elbow. And whatever she can pull out, she can rake it across, she can dig in and stab. So I just want my hand on the elbow, pinky's as high as the elbow, no higher than that pinky, because that allows me to keep her elbow straight. Makes it harder to stab and recoil. This other hand, what's happening is folding to the tricep. not the shoulder. It's very comfortable for the hand to fall into the shoulder groove at the back of the delts, but into the tricep here. Because what happens is I want to get hooked in and I want to pull this shoulder forward and down. And this will put her in a more compromised position, and I'm going to better leverage on her arm. And then basically here, I also want, as I'm pulling this forward shoulder and down, I want to pull my 2 elbows into my ribs nice and tight. You can see I'm pulling them back. Now from here, I also need another checkpoint just to make sure my chest is smothering into this arm. So as I'm pulling this forward and down, elbows into ribs, my chest is smothering her arm, my foot is still nice and deep here. Because the problem is, if I have my chest disengaged from the arm, she can still kind of pull back and have some leverage back and recoil. So here as I'm pulling down and in, chest smothering, foot deep. The other one is keep these elbows low. As soon as you start to have high elbows, she again has more space to turn and pull back here. So, one more. Here, I'm coming in smothering, foot deep, turning the thumbs, wrapping, pulling this forward and down, elbows in, chest in, foot deep, and then I'm adding my attacks. So, my finishing variations. We've got our same 2. Destroy, disarm, destroy, takedown. From here, I can start blasting. Now, as I'm hitting, I'm smashing the groin. Again, if she covers the groin with the leg, I can still hit to the thigh. If she jumps back a bit from this position, I'm still trying to keep deep as I can. I bring it back a little, deep as I can in the defense. I can also attack the groin with my shin if they've pulled their hips back a little. From here, steer her. Her head drops. I can even pull her head into this. I can start to drive my knee through her head here. And I've also got occasionally, with this tight, I can occasionally slam down a hammer fist, forearm strike, or an elbow to the head. Maybe just 1 or 2, but making sure I don't lose control of this too much here. Now basically here, I've got my disarm. So my disarm here is I'm starting to break this person here. Sometimes if I turn Sally, as she comes back a bit and she exposes the inside, I've also got kicks to the inside of the knee here. So I can start to do some stomps as well. Turns too much, I've got kicking the side of the knee on the close side as well. From the back of the knee, kicking and stomping down. This will also help to take them to the ground. So here we're going to do a destroy takedown where I've smashed them, I've kicked their knee out, hit them in the head, and from here I can get rid of them. And the other variation is destroy disarm, is where I've started to smoke them here, I'm smashing it, they've dropped the knife, I can get rid of them, maybe pick up the knife, maybe leave it and leave. So they're my 2 variations of finishing.